be over people's heads.
On the agenda is the beach house. And we've had discussion last meeting and this meeting, so we have a recommendation from the council on a decision on the beach house. I talked to Lonnie after our discussion at the last executive session and came to an agreement between he and the town that he would be willing to let the town of Waterloo have it back out and terminate his lease. At the time that I talked to him, he informed us that he had invested approximately $13,500 into the property with the camping sites, electricity hook up to them, and the water, each one of those, and improvements to the house. He also was paying the town of Waterloo $500 a month for a total of $13,500 also since the time he took the lease. So he's invested approximately $27,000 in the property. He is willing to terminate the lease with Waterloo paying him $6,500 plus the $500 this month he's already paid. So he has invested $27,000 in the property, and we to terminate the lease, we would pay him $7,000 to take back ownership or rights to the property and terminate the lease. We have a reading of the resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Whereas the Town Council of Waterloo had previously determined that the property known as the Beach House in the Recreational Vehicle Park located on property previously deeded to the Town of Waterloo, approximately located at 400 Main Street, Waterloo, Alabama, would be a proper location for vacation and recreational rentals for the structure located on the property and for a limited number of recreational vehicle pads and hookups, and would further the design purpose of the property for public park and recreation purposes. And whereas the Town Council in furtherance of said purpose leased said property to Monty Yeager as a management lessee of the parcel as a fit and suitable party to renovate the structure on the property to make it habitable for rental and construct and manage the rental of such house and pads for the public use. And whereas such public party investment in the town property constructed for such public recreational purposes without town expense and liability was determined to be in the best interest of the town of Waterloo. Whereas so that the town might reestablish all of said property for short-term recreational rental purposes, the town council has determined that the town is best served by termination of the current rental agreement with Mr. Yeager and manage said property by the town and its personnel. And whereas the town of Waterloo through its town council has determined that the management of said property by the town, including the upkeep and maintenance of the property by the town, furthers the public purpose of providing recreational facilities to be made available to the public by short-term rentals from the town of Waterloo, in addition to the public park, campground, and recreational vehicle sites. Such a use serves the town providing direct income to the town, uniform upkeep and maintenance of the property, and increased tourism, all of which provides additional income to the town's merchants and an increased sales tax base, as well as serves the designation of the property for public park and recreational purposes. Now therefore be it resolved and ordained by the town council of the town of Waterloo as follows. Number one, that the town of Waterloo does terminate the lease with Monty Yeager dated January 1, 2020, as well as any management agreement insurance, that the town council through personnel be authorized to manage all of said property for short-term recreational rentals of both the beach house and the recreational vehicle pads along with town council oversight. That the town shall negotiate with Monte Yeager for the termination of said lease agreement at a reasonable cost to the town as partial reimbursement for significant efforts in the renovation of the property and construction of the recreational vehicle pads. That the mayor, town attorney, and town clerk be and hereby are requested, empowered, authorized, and directed to take any and all steps and to execute and deliver any and all instruments necessary to carry the foregoing resolution into effect. Mr. Mayor, this resolution, for the benefit of the town, would need to be posted for no less than 7 days before action on the resolution is taken.
Mr. Yeager did not technically violate his contract, but it was not used in the spirit that we had originally discussed with him when we originally entered into the contract. So, you know, both parties just felt like the best thing to do was just for the town to terminate the lease and take back the property for town purposes as park and recreational use.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
We need to make a motion.
No, not at this time.
Be posted for 7 days.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
That resolution will be posted and the address is in due time to be posted.
Well, I guess, Mr. Mayor, just to make sure that the council is interested in doing it, that you do have a motion.
Have a motion to terminate the present lease with Mr. Yeager on the beach house.
Make a motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Cadell,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Ricky,
Yes.
Ricardo,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Monica.
Okay, the next topic on the agenda is the Waterloo Free Library. We had a visit from our loss control representative, Alabama Municipal Insurance Corporation, Municipal Workers' Compensation Fund. And they informed us that the library is being left open with a 24/7 access to the public. And that's an attempt to prevent losses due to injury, theft, or vandalism by third parties. Municipal buildings should not be left open to the public after municipal business hours. It is recommended all municipal buildings be shut and locked after municipal business hours, preventing any unauthorized access. And that was dated February 17th of this year. So we proposed different things for the library in the past, and I'd like to go back to one. I'd like to propose to the council that we relocate the library to this room have this room here, use some of this space in here and remodel it for the library to improve the condition of it and the condition for people that use the library to have a better place to go. And at that time, we will be able to discuss what we think is the best plans for the existing building across the road and seek some grants or funds to renovate it and bring it up to a better standard. Do I have a motion for consideration for that?
I'll make a motion.
Second? Please.
Mayor Alan Cadell,
Yes.
Chris Strickland,
Yes.
Ricky Haggard,
Yes.
Ricardo Porter,
Yes.
Joel Pendergraph,
Yes.
Monica.
Mr. Mayor, I've also created a resolution for that, though it could be considered not of a general and permanent nature, but given the fact that it's of great interest to the town of Waterloo, I do have a resolution that could be posted along with the Beach House resolution, and be considered and voted on at the next public meeting. Whereas the town of Waterloo desires to provide more secure access to the town of Waterloo free library to the citizens of the town of Waterloo and a better location for the preservation of donated books and periodicals. Whereas the town council has determined that the current condition and operation of the library in its current location creates an unacceptable burden of liability for the town and those using the library. Whereas the town council through deliberation has determined that the relocation of the library to secure a portion of the town hall creates a better environment for the location of a library and the preservation of assets. Whereas the town council has determined that such relocation serves the public purpose, providing a secure environment for a public library for the enjoyment and education of the citizenry of the town of Waterloo. Now therefore be it resolved and ordained by the town council of the town of Waterloo, Alabama as follows: that the mayor and town clerk are authorized to create a secure environment for the location of the town of Waterloo Free Library in the town of Waterloo Town Hall. That the town council does authorize the payment of reasonable expenses for the renovation of the town hall for such purposes. That the mayor and town clerk be and are hereby requested, empowered, and authorized and directed to take any steps to execute and deliver any and all instruments necessary to carry the foregoing resolution into effect. So I'll send you those corrections as well. No.
Okay, so we really want to make this a nice facility. So we have a couple people that volunteered to put acoustic ceiling in here. And I talked to Scott Jones at the trade school, and if we buy the materials, the woodworking shop at the trade school will build all new shelves for it. So I think with some work, we'll put heating and cooling in there. So with some amenities and a little bit of work, I think we can have a really nice facility for everyone to enjoy.
What kind of bookcase do you need for them?
They will build what we'd like to have. They're gonna be on the wall,
Okay,
wall bookshelves.
okay. Are you having freestanding roof?
We'll see how these work out, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Have space for it. We're gonna try to get all on the wall we can.
Okay.
And, they got quite a few kids. He said in the woodworking shop for Waterloo, and he said it'd be a good project for them to work on too. And after spring break, he said they could work on it. And, they'll be generally 6 feet tall and standard bookshelves, 5 tier, and 12 inches deep. But I think it'll be a nice facility that everybody will enjoy. Okay, the next item on the agenda is we have had a request to check in by, it was Lisa McDaniel called concerned about coyotes and stray dogs. So I talked to the district office of Fish and Game Wardens down here, and they said that they cannot issue a permit to hunt coyotes in the town limits. You cannot discharge a firearm in the town limits. The only option in town limits is to trap them. In the county, they can issue a nighttime license of $15 for coyotes and pigs between February 11th and November the 1st. And if the nuisance permit, they will issue a nuisance permit, but you have to report every kill that you have between February and September. I didn't even know there was a signal for coyotes. Did y'all? So, but now, that's That's what they told us, but
There's still no discharging the fire.
no discharge at all. That's right.
Just making sure.
That's
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All right, next on our agenda is, shake my hand. Our community group.
We go to executive session, please. I'm not a public speaker, so I have a few things I need to ask you all. I'm the senior center director down the road, and I just went to a meeting with NACOG, and so I have two different things I need to talk to y'all about. The first thing is the senior centers. Every senior center is supposed to have a backup manager. I don't know if they've had one in the past down there. I think that they have, but it's a program from NACOG, so NACOG will pay their salary. We have a lady, Joy Scott, y'all probably know her. Bobby does the meal deliveries, and it's a NACOG program. They pay, it's a $7.25 an hour program. Again, it's funded through NACOG, so it won't cost the town anything, but it is a $1,000 donation from the town. Amber said that she could call and talk to and give you more information if you needed it, but all senior centers are required to have a backup manager. So that's one thing. And then the next thing is, my position is a 20-hour-a-week position. And I realize historically it's always been a 20-hour position, but I work way more than 20 hours a week. And so at our NACOG meeting, I talked to every senior center director there. Some of them do get paid for 4 hours, some of them get paid for 6 hours, some of them get paid for 8 hours. It just depends on the town that they're in and what the town agrees to and what the town wants them to do. So there's no one set thing about the senior center position. There's one lady in Hodge, Alabama. Is it Hodges or Hodges? She works as the community center director, and so NACOG pays half of her salary, the 20 hours, but then she works another 20 hours or whatever as the community center director and does things like does the bookings and takes care of that. And the town pays that in kind, is what it's called, like an in-kind donation, I guess, to NACOG. I don't know how that all works, but she said that's what they do. And then other towns that they work for the town and help out with other things in the community. So I'm just asking for you all to consider making this position a 30-hour, up to 30 hours a week. Because sometimes I, work, I'm giving you 60 hours now, pretty much, 50 hours. I love the job. It's a great job. It's so much fun. We do so many things for the community. We are just about trying to get into everything, and these ladies are amazing. We're going to go to Graceland, so we have tons of things that we got, working, but it's taken up all of my time. So I can't go get another job. I had to quit my full-time job because I couldn't work that job and this job because this job just takes up every day. And I love it. I don't want to not have the job, but I can't do it on 20 hours a week. So, and then I need to know when I need to get out to my house. So,
Mr. Mayor, on the last thing, of course, we have to work out negotiations for termination of the lease from Mr. Mayor. Then, of course, plenty of time.
We'll get you on that.
okay.
Any discussion on for hours of employment?
Well, Joyce is more important. I mean, that's,
And now, Tanya knows more about this than I do because I'm learning about NACOG stuff as I go. And I've been through some things with them and contact them, had some discussion with them. But each year we donate so much money to NACOG, and they kind of in turn give it back to us through the salaries, correct? turn give us that money back through the director's salary. We pay a duty and they in turn kind of refund it back to us, is kind of the way that works. And this $1,000 donation here is kind of along the same lines as what's going on now, correct? Kind of on the same line there, so. Do we have any, discussion or opinions on it at this time?
Sounds like it's mandatory. We have to have an assistant director.
We're supposed to.
And Joyce has been doing the job, like she's been doing it for years. They've just, nobody's ever put her on the program.
I mean, if we donate the $1,000, they can give it back to us with their salary, is basically what they're gonna do. I mean, it's like paying gifts and they return it back to you. It's annual.
But NACOG will pay her, salary, her, her wages.
Yeah.
But the town doesn't have to pay for that.
No, it comes from, her salary will actually come from the
How many hours per?
They pay up to, I think, 20 hours. It's up to 20. It was 30 hours with COVID and with all of their stuff, but they're cutting everything back, so it's now, I think, 19.75.
Anybody will make a motion, we pay the $1,000 to, and use to add the backup director.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Have a roll call, please.
Mayor Adam Cadell,
Yes.
Chris Strickland,
Yes.
Ricky Haggard,
Yes.
Ricardo Carter, Joel Pendergraft,
Yes.
Monica,
Have you discussed the time for extending Ms. Mahaney's hours past 20? You want to table it for
Let's
this time?
table it till the next meeting.
Okay.
We'll look it over.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. We appreciate it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Broadfoot, are you good tonight?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, next thing on the agenda is comments of the mayor. April the 9th is Easter, and the Baptist Church here in Waterloo is sponsoring the sunrise service this year. So generally they have a breakfast at the community center, and they have asked if maybe at our next meeting we consider helping out with the food preparation. They said they might need some help, because no one ladies in the church, so at our next meeting we need to kind of discuss that. Ted Cabbage has offered to come down one night and after we have a council meeting, teach a CPR class. If people would be interested in doing that, he will be glad to teach a CPR class one night. Next meeting, we need to start discussing our 4th of July event, and we're already getting calls for this year's Trail of the Tears event in September. It's the 30th year. We've had several people already call when we discussing it for the next meeting. Our TAP grant that we turned over to Whiteland and Collins, I talked with him today. They haven't finished their estimate compared to Silver Group's estimate, but he said it shouldn't be much longer. The Waterloo Easter pageant is March the 25th, the advertisement's on the door and it is at the community center also. And Ms. Mason, I forgot when the Easter egg hunt is, which day it is.
It looks like, I don't know what day it is, Jay, you remember offhand, that Saturday? It's April the 8th, is that what it is?
And it's at the
Trilogy
Trail Field down there, April the 8th. All right, comments from the council, anybody?
I thank y'all and Monica for wanting to be on the council, and thank everybody else for applying.
Yeah. Anybody else?
One other thing I was gonna mention, since you
Yeah.
talked about the Easter egg hunt,
Yeah.
Stacy Woods, I don't think you guys were in the room when we were talking about it earlier, and we told everybody in here, but it's the Easter egg hunt. And Jay, you may wanna chime in, we've got all kinds, we've got all kinds of people that have donated, plastic eggs, candy. We got a donation for 2,000 eggs today, 2,000 eggs today, that's just amazing to me. And then we've got Easter baskets coming in, so like Jay was saying, we'll accept all kinds of donations for anything that any businesses or whatever want to give us, but, we're also, the free library is going to give every child that comes a book to take home with them, so I think that's pretty cool. And,
Very
anyway,
nice.
that's what we're planning to do, but it's a joint effort from, several different people, and so we hope it works out well for the community.
I think it will. Hopefully we'll have good weather that day.
I hope so.
Maybe so.
Oh, we've also said, cause somebody asked, we've also decided we're gonna section that field off in about 3 different sections, I think, for different age groups. So we don't have the bigger kids running over the little kids.
Yeah,
I made that mistake myself several years ago.
We've
at
got some of that warning tape.
Public library.
We've got some of that
Yeah,
warning
it's not
tape we can provide to you if we need to, okay? We can, and all kind of metal fence posts we can put up if you section it off out
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
or whatever we need to use for that. Anybody, any other comments from the, yes, sir?
All the talk about the beach house, what is the plans for the beach house after it's become available to the city? I don't care, I'm just curious.
We will rent it out on a short-term basis, like a weekend home.
Like an Airbnb or something?
Yeah, Airbnb and the camping spaces on a short-term basis too. And try to use the income from the beach house to maintain it and make it better. We'll have to go in first, assess it and see what it needs and if, I know Monty's done some upgrades to it, but, every house, you know how houses are, they need maintaining and upgrading and so, but, the work had gone quite an extensive number of years and hadn't had any work on it, so he did improve it and probably, preserve the house to be able to be used in the future.
And the other question is about events in general, Trail of Tears, Easter egg hunt, whatever events happen in this town, who cleans up after that? Is there a cleanup crew, or is there a volunteer cleanup crew? Is there
I volunteer usually.
is there a designated?
Mr.
I mean,
Mayor, we do.
I've been on this. I've been on the end of the stick already.
Yeah. Yes, sir, Mr. Broadfoot.
Sue Spalding and I picked it up. Volunteer Fire Department picked up at the game warden stand, that area right there. And Sue and I picked up the rest of it. One day, ends on Sunday, Monday, we were down there picking it up. We were tired, we got tired to do it. But just volunteer as far as I know.
Right. And I guess the reason I ask is, might ask for like official volunteers for cleanup after the fact of some of these events, because there's going to be more events. I mean, not just the Trail of Tears.
No. And
4th of July, Easter egg hunt. There's a lot of trash after that 4th of July event, for sure. So,
yeah.
I mean, ask for volunteers.
Now, last year, Trail of Tears people did a lot better job of did do a better job, and hopefully they will continue that, but, you know, volunteers are needed in every community when you have an event. It's hard to put one on without volunteers, that's for sure.
Just might have to request it every now and then.
That's right, you have to ask them instead of just
Somebody
asking
gotta
for
ask
volunteers.
for it.
That's right, that's
Remind
right.
them nice.
Anybody else have anything like, yes ma'am?
BJ and Abby are tentatively planning to open the diner back up next weekend.
Okay, we'll try to
Just wanted to put that for the community.
get the table out, the steam table, for sure. Anybody else have anything they'd like to bring up?
I was
Yes,
gonna
ma'am.
ask, do we have a maintenance person? I thought of it when Reed asked the question. Do we have somebody that mows the grass? Does that gal still work for the town or not?
Well, this is an unusual year. I don't ever, usually no one starts cutting grass for the town until April the 15th is usually the day that they start on a contract. Now, I cut around the town hall and the community center earlier this week, but this is unusual year. I just don't remember many years that we had as an extreme a cold event we did around Christmas, and then practically the rest of the winter we didn't really have any cold weather. So, you know, that's something that we will address probably the next meeting is, you know, I don't mind cutting grass. Tanya's helped in the past,
You
and
probably don't wanna cut that field, but also, for the Easter egg hunt.
oh, we'll cut it. Don't cut
She's-
it. Oh, don't cut it. Oh, I'm sorry. I got you. Now, you need tall as you can get.
Hard to have eggs on the table.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I misunderstood that. Sure, we won't cut that. But the grass cutting for all of us is right around the corner, unfortunately. Anybody else? We appreciate everyone's attendance, and you're welcome at any time. We have a motion to adjourn. Thank y'all very much.